All right, hello everybody. Hello and welcome to Saturday Schoolstone classes back in session. I am your op, Dr. Fish, and I have two fantastic wildcasters with me. We have Jailstorm and Memnarch. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so we have a pretty good match in store for everybody. I'll let the casters take away with the classes and the deck list while I get the players started, ready to go.
All right. So let's look at the relatively normal lists first of all. So Absolute brought a pretty standard conquest lineup: Odd Paladin, Dark Lair, Warlock, Arena Priest, and Pirate Warrior. Like, you seem like fairly standard lists. Nothing sticks too much out in any of these as tech. But then we go to lefties lists, and these are pretty not standard because Cube Warlock, Big Priest, Masaki Mage, and ETC Warrior with bombs. Lefty, have you seen anything quite, or I haven't quite seen anything quite like Lefty's list. How about you guys?
I mean, just looking at Lefty's list, we know that bringing two combo decks in Conquest is a bit of a liability sometimes just due to the popularity of aggro, but pairing it alongside the disruption slash control of the Demon Warlock there, and then the scam potential of the Big Priest, I like this list. I mean, it's definitely interesting, it's fresh, and I'm looking forward to see how it does today. So
I think Demon Lock list is very interesting. Like, it's super greedy, but
yeah,
like
it's
it's
got two cubes. I
two.
mean,
Yeah, it's got two cubes. Like, that card's so greedy in this meta. I haven't seen a cube in so long.
yeah, no, same. It's a rare sight in the wild
Yeah,
nowadays.
it used
So
to be
as far
everywhere.
as yeah, as far as bans go, what are you thinking from both sides here?
All right, so Absolute's Dark Lair's getting banned, or Arena Priest. I'm pretty sure it's the Dark Lair because it's it's almost always Dark Lair.
Hmm.
The deck's just good, and it's by far the strongest power level deck on Absolute side. For Absolute banning one of Lefty's decks, I don't know. Like, it's either the Warlock or the Priest because the Odd Paladin needs to get through, and Fire Warrior need to get through. So if the Warlock hits a Void Caller into Void Lord, that Fire Warrior is super sad. If Priest hits in the palm reading into Shadow Essence, the part where it's also super sad.
Hmm.
So I think it's the Priest because, oh,
I might agree with you too. I mean, if Absolute's expecting that his Odd Paladin and Pirate Warrior are going to get through the ban phase, then you want to target the either of the two control decks, whether that's the Demon Warlock or the Big Priest. Um, just given the fact that the Demon Warlock mysteriously does not run Defile this week, I think Absolute might lean towards that Big Priest ban.
also the risky skipper in the, let's see, a bomb ETC warrior. I think it's
Hmm.
just bomb warrior with ETC in it because, well, actually, is the full combo in this list?
I think he has the ETC, he has the Bloodsworn Mercenary, he has the Guardian Og Merchant, and then after that, does he have Broom? Yeah, he has Broom too.
He
So
also, uh, yeah, I guess this is a full on ETC list, ETC combo with bombs in it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he parses out those turns of removal with the deck and draws at the same time against the two aggro decks from Absolute if he gets that matchup.
Yeah,
So
this list is entirely reliant on Skipper doing dots work and drawing. Like,
I'm
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't think the bomb game plan, at least from the Warriors, is going to get there against Absolute's list unless it runs into the Reno Priest. But
honestly,
I
the
mean,
Skipper Control was actually a very good deck in Standard at the time. It was a decent deck in Wild. The problem with Skipper decks in Wild was that there was no win con. Like, Dead Man's Hand, ETC, OTK, and Bomb Warrior were all attempted win cons of Skipper decks, but none of them were like active enough to finish it off games. So you ended up dirtling for much longer than you wanted to in
Mhm.
wild. Yeah, that's usually a death sentence. Even
Yeah,
with
agreed.
the skipper buying, it's like multiple turns.
Yeah, I do remember when Skipper was
Mhm.
very popular in Standard. I haven't had much experience with it in Wild, so I'm looking forward to see how it does in these matchups today.
Mhm.
Uh, do we have the Banson from both players?
So I'll give an. So Lefty did ban like 10 minutes ago, but it hasn't been processed yet on the website. So
Um,
so I'm sure that the ban's like obviously the ban is in. It just hasn't been processed. The players are ready to go. Just probably waiting for it to process. I'm gonna.
if you
Okay,
go to
he said it. He
incognito
said it.
mode,
He said it just came
and
up. So we'll have the bans now. It is. Oh, it's not up for me yet, but if you can just
Yeah,
tell
I'm
me,
checking on a
I'll just
different
ask him.
browser now.
Yeah, my Chrome is acting up. I'm pretty sure. Um, come
I'm
on.
looking for.
I'm just gonna go into. He banned Warlock, or I banned Warlock, and he banned Mage. So that means Lefty
Okay.
Yeah,
banned.
lefty banned warlock.
Lefty did ban the
Yeah, so
Warlock.
Absolute Starkler Warlock is banned out, and then Lefty's Mozaki Mage is banned out. That's interesting because we were thinking that either the Big Priest or the Demon Warlock was going to get the ban. Um, what do you think about the chances for these matchups now that we've seen the bans?
Mm-hmm. All right, so Mizaki Mage. I think that he wanted. Oh wait, does the Odd Paladin not run? Uh, oh, it runs Leroy and Lotheb.
Yeah, two Oh My
Yeah,
Yogs too.
to my own.
But I actually like the Mozaki Mage matchup into that Odd Paladin specifically, just
Yeah.
because when you set up those block turns and freeze, it's very tough for the Paladin to break through that without
Yeah.
Lotheb specifically.
So I think that means that Absolute thinks his Odd Paladin is the hardest time getting through. So he banned the worst matchup for the Odd Paladin, which was Mizaki.
Yeah, but he's not left with great matchups for that Odd Paladin anyways, because now he's got to get through either the Big Priest, the Demon Warlock, or that ETC with the removal of skipper turns.
Mhm.
So, interesting ban here.
Or yep. So both players should be getting to the game here shortly. Yep.
As
So
far as queue order goes for Absolute and Lefty here, I feel like it's pretty easy to say that Absolute will lead with that Reno Priest just because the two aggro decks are going to be tough to get through this week. And the Reno Priest just has good matchups across the board here.
Well, there's an Albatross in the Warlock and Bombs in the Warrior. So like Albatross is annoying, but like it's against Cube, so you have time. And if you hit your
Yeah.
draw, Albatross usually doesn't do much, but it's the bombs in the Warrior list that are really bad for the Reno Priest.
Yeah, there's no great way to tutor out those albatrosses from the warlock
Mhm.
deck, and if the warrior kind of misses with getting that wrench caliber, which it does need to get two of those bombs in to disable the Highlander
Mhm.
cards, I think it really just comes down to either drawing the Forge of Souls or the wrench caliber on those early turns for the warrior, at least for that matchup.
yeah. All right. So once the players get going, Absolute is going to be on the bottom of our screens for those who are. So he'll be first to spectate for myself, and then Lefty will be on the top. And I'm just gonna wait for eyeballs, and then we can get going.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, both players are definitely taking an extra minute to make sure they're queuing the correct deck and giving
Mhm.
themselves the best chances for this series.
Yeah.
So I really usually you ban your you queue up one of the decks that you know that's gonna struggle first, so you want to get maximum time out of it, or the deck you know that's gonna win. Like,
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's Reno Priest first for Absolute, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might just see that warrior come out game one,
Yeah.
honestly. From lefty here. I mean,
This is not an easy first queue.
yeah, no doubt. It usually is not, but for this series in particular, there's a quite
Mhm.
amount of counter cues that could go on. So
Yeah.
both players being very careful and cautious, deciding what they want to queue first.
Usually it's both players play bring Dark Glare and hand buff, and you ban Dark Glare and queue to hand buff first, and that's usually how the series begins.
Yeah,
I think
starting
that's
with the
happened to me
mirror.
like
Awesome.
5 times out of the last 7 conquest games.
All right, I see an eyeball from lefty here.
All right. Cool. I'm just gonna wait to see one from Absolute.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have his spec off.
Yeah, it looks like he might.
All right, I sent him a message.
Okay. Cool. Yep. I see an eyeball.
All right.
All right, at least from lefty side, we're gonna see the big priest game one against Absolute's Reno Priest. So this is a good matchup for the Reno Priest generally, just because of their ability to assemble the combo faster than those big boards from Priest can come out. But we do see the Shadow Essence in the mulligan for
All right,
lefty
so lefty really does not want to hit that light elemental off that essence. He wants to hit a blood of Cahoon. He's on the coin, so yeah, Vargoff is risky hit because you're definitely coining out the essence. Interesting, you didn't keep the second Shadow Essence because you got time to try to find palm reading, and having 2 shots at palm reading through Shadow Essence.
Yeah, I
Usually
like keeping
good.
the extra shadow visions too, just because even if you whiff on that
Oh,
palm reading, usually you'll get some
well, there's
small
the
regen. But
essence. I mean, there's the palm reading. So it looks like we're gonna have a turn 4 essence here, but Absolute has the poke out, so that's usually the best card to play on curve in this matchup for the Reno Priest because it enables you to draw your entire combo plus your removal. And he already has a Mass Hysteria in hand, so that means that Rasa is 2 away. No, 4 away.
yeah, but sometimes the Reno Priest can struggle after those 2 turns of back-to-back removal of the Anduin followed by the Scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting whether or not the Reno Priest can assemble enough combo tools before that point to where after they have those 2 turns of removal, they can combo that next turn. Because I think that's what they have to do here.
These are terrible discoveries from that palm reading. Oh, he goes for the tempo one. I
That's
like it.
interesting because usually you don't want to bring back the minion that comes out of Auspicious Spirits just because it dilutes your res pool.
I think tempo is more important than value in this matchup for the Big Priest. So I really like that pick. Like, if this was a control versus control, it's probably Scream every time. But since it's control versus combo, you definitely need to play for tempo rather than value.
Well, keep in mind the Scream can reset the Polka order too, so I sometimes actually like bringing Psychic Scream in my Priest just for that case.
Oh yeah. With near Psychic Screaming both your blood. Oh, I guess a Bloodgoon is going to die next turn, so it's not. So oh yeah, I really like that Scream then. Oh, that was an easy pick.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You always seem to pick
Raise
the
the
card.
spirits here. What's it gonna pull?
Random 7 drop. All right, Temporis. Oh, that's really good for lefty. The Spectre Colossus have resilience, so the Mass Hysteria isn't guaranteed to clear now. It's gonna leave a 7/7 on board.
Yeah, and this actually poses lethal for Lefty's side here with 31 damage on board. So Absolute's definitely going to need an answer this turn, and then probably the Scream into Anduin the following turns. So, because I
Alright, so
mean, we see the responses from Lefty, even if Absolute totally clears his board here in terms of the Resurrect, followed by Eternal Servitude or the Spellstone,
I think
and then the Mass Res.
I think he has the Mass Hysteria. He has to pop in a Golem and then Mass Hysteria and hope for the best.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
Well, if he does, if he Hysteria's that Temperance, it gets 2 hits and almost 5/5s, which I actually like a lot, but decides
oh,
to go for it on a 7/7.
he's being a bit greedy. See, that would have hit the Scrapyard. He would have had 17 power on board. I mean, Lefty would have had 17 power on board. It's not lethal.
I
But
mean,
it's
if
like,
Lefty discovered a Mind Blast, it could have been
yeah, it
lethal.
could have been,
Definitely, yeah. So what do you think Lefty's going to do this turn? Because he has the knowledge that Polkeld is played, and that Scream is going to come down next turn.
I probably would have just passed, or hit for 10. Tried to play to Thrive, try to find something. Or maybe play the Light Shower. Oh. Play the Light Shower?
Yeah, I think I would have played the Light Shower there too.
Yeah, because when you push 10, you just need to represent lethal, and the Light Shower represents lethal. I think it's going to be Resurrect Essence. Because you don't want to play the Light Shower if you can Essence.
I like the Mass Res here. I mean, there's a lot of Colossuses that have died. There's a lot of Blood of Cahoons that have died. You might pull one of the Temperance, but the other 2 options are great.
Oh, he didn't hit a... Alright, this is the easiest Anduin of Absolute's life.
Yeah, by not hitting any Colossuses there with the Death Rattle, it's an easy clear here by Anduin, so Absolute's got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah. Alright, so... I think the next turn is going to be the Mass Hysteria. Kazakis. The turn after that is the Raza Tau. Because this is just an insane amount of pressure right from the Big Priest. Like, he needs to play Kazakis.
This is
He needs to
pretty
play
constant
Raza.
pressure by the Big Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, turn after turn, throwing up, what, 20, 20, 25, 25 worth of stats?
Yeah,
I mean,
like, he's literally playing lethal, or setting up lethal every turn.
yeah, this makes it a little bit more difficult for the Reno Priest just because of that pressure. Usually, if the Reno Priest gets at least 1 turn of free development, that swings the way towards the Reno Priest here. But we see even coming out from Lefty the next following turns, there's much more pressure. So let's see if Absolute can get there.
I have no idea what you pick here. I think you want to go with the 5 cost and try to get a double freeze, so you can just play the Raza. Or you go for the 1
You never
cost.
go for the 10 cost sheeps, right?
Sheep is very low get compared to everything else. Alright, so we'll go for the 1. So he's gonna play Italian. No, he has to play Reno next turn. Otherwise he's dead. Without removal. Alright, so let me look at the list, because it's with Polkelt being played, it's really easy to tell what you're gonna draw next.
Yeah, it looks like he draws that either the Palm Reading, the Elucia, or the Breath of the Infinite, so none of his draws next turn are really going to help all that much.
And Lefty knows that, so he's just going all in. Alright, so I think he has to Elucia here, just so he can play the AoE not to die. Because this is more than, let's see here, this is more than 30, so Reno doesn't save him. So he's gonna have to Reno Kazaka's trade ping off the Blood of Cahoon to not get lethaled. But then he just gets hit for a lot.
Yeah, he gets hit for
25.
25. Yeah, and there's no real answer the following turn off from that. So, Absolute's definitely in a tough position here.
I feel like he has to steal the mass hysteria from the opponent's hand with mind render, but he can't because that gives him the opponent the Rasa, so he's never getting there. Oh, that's a rough one.
Yeah, I just don't see it for Absolute, and I don't think he does either. I mean, we obviously see the mass hysteria discounted in Lefty's hand, but playing the Lucia, you can't really account for that. So.
Yeah. So I think he has to.
Now,
Well,
Lefty could make a big misplay here by trading into the Reno, right?
he's never trading. Well, he might actually. Does Absolute run Seance?
He does not run Seance. He has Raised Dead, but that's at the very bottom of his deck.
Oh yeah, and he's played everything after the Pokel, so Lefty's been paying attention, he probably has been. He knows what's in his hand. He knows he has all the 4s, and he knows he's drawing into the 3s at this point.
Yeah, and a good call by Lefty there, answering the problem presented to him. As far as Absolute goes here, I mean, this is pretty much it, right? There's no real outs that could save you at this point. You've played all your removal, and that's it. So.
Darkness speaks
I mean, you had the Essence on 5. Essence on 4.
Yeah, and even with this Mass Hysteria, if it hits perfect targets, there's two 7/7s staring down at him right back.
And he can actually pop a 5/5, so it's only going to be potentially 1. But this is not a winning line, or it's not a winning position from Absolute. It's the best line you could probably take, but then
Well,
see here,
even if Lefty's just left with one of those 7/7s, we see the spawn and hero power coming out from Lefty's side to close that out anyways.
So it looks like Lefty's gonna draw the opponent's palm reading. No, he doesn't have palm reading. He's gonna draw the Acolyte next turn. So it's not that big of a deal. Ooh.
I think he does actually have palm readings below the Lucia on the deck list, but yeah, we see the lethal here, and that's game 1 for Lefty.
Yeah, it's lethal.
No, your victory proves nothing.
Yeah, the game 1 upset. Big Priest taking it over Reno Priest. I mean, I forget where I saw the win rate percentage, but I think it's around 30-70. 70 towards the Reno Priest there. So
It's Essence on Curve. If you get Essence on Curve as a Big Priest, you basically are favored. Like that card, like Big Priest is so close to being really good. It's insane. Like, let's see here. The only way that matchup it actually super loses to is Melee Druid, or the combo Druid decks, I should say, besides Togwaggle, and Mizaki Mage, or combo Mage decks with Ice Block and OTKs from hand and freezes. I guess Milrogue also destroys it, but Milrogue isn't that popular. But if you want to have like a somewhat fair game plan, going to need like 10 mana to win, Big Priest is probably the single strongest deck in view.
that's a good take. I agree with most of that. All right, coming into game 2 here, we have Lefty on that Demon Warlock with the birds, and then Absolute with that Odd Paladin.
All right, so you've got Plague and 2 Void Lords in hand. I think that you ship the Void Lords and keep the Dark Skies. I kind of really like keeping Plague because it pops your Caller and it sets up some really good cube turns when you need it popped now. But he doesn't have any of those in hand, so I can actually probably throwing Plague was the correct plan.
Well,
Cheating
yeah, and
Dark
I mean,
Skies.
he could trade with the Void Collar into a 1/1 and drain Soul it too if he wants to pop the Void Collar, so he has that route if he so chooses.
I'm not sure if he just slam Candor Thread or tap here. I think he slammed Candor Thread just to fight. No, fight for some semblance of board, but tap improves your dark skies.
Yeah, this is a tough choice here. I think you just gotta tap because you need more resources, especially some big demon from that void collar.
You definitely tap, I would think. Like, you want a demon for the void collar. Alright.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, 10.
Reporting for
10.
duty.
What is this? 10/10 worth of stats on turn 3 for absolute.
Yeah, Odd Paladin just getting that quest on very, very early, posing a big board here. We see possibly some semblance of an answer in terms of this Dark Skies here, but that won't clear everything.
Let's see here. He technically has 11 power because of the Divine Shield for Dark Skies math. So Dark Skies should clear all but 2 minions. Never mind. You got really lucky.
Yeah, that's very lucky. Just killing all of those Silverhand recruits. Oh, this is
Good
such
word
a
from
great
Absolute.
line from Absolute. I love this line. Setting up
This
the
li-
tour guide into the next turn Carnival Barker. I mean, it's just very strong.
Oh, he picked up another Void Caller in hand. So I think the line is Void, just slam the Void Caller. You might have wanted to Plague it, Flame it to get the Mal'Ganis out, but now that's
I don't think you
unreliable
do that
line.
this turn. I think you save it for next turn, because if you can get
Yeah.
both of those Void Colors up there, and then Kobold Librarian into a Plague of Flames with a coin,
Mhm.
I feel like you have a good chance of getting some of those big demons and swinging it back the other way.
He opts to tap. Oh, counter thread. Okay.
Come one, come all!
This line's the tempo line. Kill
Yeah, and
something,
we see
play.
the Broom and the Oh My Yog coming out as well. It's just, or actually no Broom, but...
I'm not
Oh,
sure
no
if you...
Oh My Yog too, come on.
He knows there's no Defile, so this is a safe line.
Here for the tour?
Like, normally this is, like, insane because you send a 1, 2, 3 and you wipe the board in the Warlock. Like, and then he coins the Void Caller and laughs in Warlock, but he has no Defile. So he has no way to answer these small board going wide.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Defile would be the card to answer this board.
What? How much power is this? 8? No, 12 power.
Yeah,
So
12.
a Quartermaster would give +6. So Quartermaster isn't lethal, but Quartermaster Conviction's lethal. 2 Convictions is lethal. Here's a cube.
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, you might just have to Hysteria this turn just to clear some of the board.
I don't think Hysteria is a winning line. You need a Void Caller. You just need to slam it, hope for the best, and then kill off your Void Caller. Because you need board. You're never getting board back unless you play the Void Caller, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you...
Takes 5 power off the board there.
So let's see, this is 7. So Warhorse is 3 Convictions. No, that's 9 burst. 9 plus 7. It's not quite there. I wonder if you play the Conviction anyway. Well, it looks like he's holding it.
Yeah, I think saving Conviction's probably right, because either way you'd set up for the 2-turn lethal, so...
Interesting, no Oh My Yog. Maybe he realizes that nothing in Lefty's deck can beat this board, and the Oh My Yog might actually give him give Lefty an out.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be it, right?
Yeah.
The only other thing I'm thinking of is he doesn't want to play Oh My Yog while Lefty is still holding the coin, even though I actually kind of like that play because I think you have a 1 in 6 or a 1 in 7 to just waste your opponent's turn with one of those forbidden spells.
Yeah. I think it is 1 in 7. Actually, they keep printing new 0-mana spells, so it changes from time to time.
It's around 1 in 7, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. a desperate play here by Lefty.
Yeah.
I mean, just tapping, finding possibly any other answer.
Oh, did he hit
find
the? It doesn't matter. Conviction's lethal. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolute gets a game one right back. So 1-1 evening up the series here.
Yeah, Odd Paladin won. That was a huge. Like the Odd Paladin, usually the Void Caller into any sort of big demon gives you enough time to set up for more big stuff from the Warlock, but he just didn't draw a Void Lord. All he had was a Mal'Ganis in hand, and that no, definitely wasn't. And you definitely thought that probably wouldn't make it, so he didn't go for that line.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 Void Callers in hand and 0 Void Callers on board. So surprising play there. So Absolute's left with his Reno Priest and Pirate Warrior. Lefty's left with his Demon Warlock and the ETC Skipper Warrior.
All right, so this is gonna be really rough for the Pirate Warrior. Actually, there's no Defile. Usually the Defile is the card that really wrecks Pirate Warrior. But since there's no Defile, I think Pirate Warrior has a decent chance as long as there's no Void Caller shenanigans from Lefty side.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they have that Drain Soul, Dirty Rat, Dark Skies, Hysteria answer pretty early, but I'm looking at turns 5, 6, and 7, and unless Lefty can get a big demon down to contest the board of Pirate Warrior here, I think the Pirate Warrior actually has a good chance in those later turns.
I think it's a slow mulligan for Lefty personally. You don't really want a Dirty Rat
You don't? I mean,
against Pirate Warrior. If you you want to answer cannons, Dirty Rat kind of doesn't answer the cannons. Like if you can
yeah,
answer
but I'm just looking at what else is left in that Warlock list that you could play on 2 to contest Pirate Warrior, and I think Dirty Rat might just be your best answer out of all those.
Oh, he draws the Ticketus after mulliganing into Void Caller, Void Lord.
I mean, that's just a punish for putting Ticketus in your big demons deck when you can summon so many minions or demons from hand too,
Oh,
right?
I got the
Skulldugmari.
spectate. Alright. My object, Hearthstone, doesn't believe in patches, so it's not showing me patches.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a real card. It doesn't exist.
Yep, we got
Like,
patches.
we're gonna have,
we got
like-
the patches bug, everybody.
I gotta ask, how long do you guys think it would take to code out that patches bug? I think it's over under about 5 minutes, but
They probably, next time this card does their AMA, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna say during when you spectate a friendly game, patches crashes the game. Hopefully, they might do something then. Because this is definitely not on the radar.
yeah, I mean, this has been a problem for quite a while now. So, but let's talk about the game. So, some early great turns by Absolute here, getting the early pirates into Ankar, into weapon buffs. Lefty doesn't have a whole ton of answers on his early
Second Void
turns.
Caller.
Second
Oh,
Void
that's
Caller is
so
huge.
good. So okay, he plays the first one, and then like it's a race to the face for Absolute because he cannot trade into that Void Caller. He plays the one off the top for maximum tilt. I like it. Like now these cannons are kind of a liability. Like normally you play the cannon, push a ton of damage and clear the board.
Yeah, but there's a
the way
3-man.
his mana lined up, he wanted to play. Oh, what? Yeah, this is really hard for Absolute because you can't play the best cards in the deck anymore.
I think I might just slam Rokara.
I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I was thinking you might want to set up cannons that turn, but putting that damage over the top after those big demons come down might be the play here. Dreadlord is huge too. Wow.
Yeah. All right. How much damage is this? 6, 10, 12?
Yes.
Plays can or thread. Oh,
From the void, I
Honestly, I think he's going to slam the Ticketus uncorrupted next turn.
He's 1 damage off. If he gets a, yeah, no, he needs 1 more mana, but he would be 1 damage off with the weapon and the fog sail. Close here. Wow.
Oh, you just go all face then, and then with the Outrider Axe.
What now?
Right? And then put him to 1, and then you freeboot or kill him.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if they get the big demons down, you can throw those cannons down to get a couple good chances to take that extra 1 damage, right?
I think you really do Sky Raider every time though, because if he gets what's it called? No wait, he's running out of board space, so maybe not. He opts to trade.
Interesting trade there, because I don't think there's any big demons that would come down on 6 rather than 7, right?
Oh, wait. Oh, it looks like Freebooter wasn't actually lethal, so he just would have been off by 1 then.
Yeah, no, he would have been off by 1, but he needed 1 more mana too, so.
Alright, so this is the Slam Ticketus. Double trade. Hope for the best for Lefty. Alright, several. No, don't! Oh. Alright.
Ooh, got lucky there.
Not
Dodged the
got
bullet.
lucky there. Alright, slam the Ticketus, please.
Yeah, you gotta play Ticketus here. I mean,
Your deck doesn't matter. Don't go for the value. What are you? Oh,
he might go for the cube here, I'm guessing, but
that is in.
holds the Ticketus, not the Dreadlord. Small
He's
window
playing
for
with my
absolute here.
heartstrings here. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, he must value his deck quite a lot there.
I mean, if you would have slammed Ticketus in the enhanced Dreadlord, he would have had
What
see here,
now?
13, 16 power. So Ticketus going like everything going face. You send the enhanced into the Rakara.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
I think that leaves you with the most power on board.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
What
Like-
pirate did he just pull? What is that?
It's a Ratchet Privateer. Privateer.
One of the new core set
Yeah.
pirates.
This is the biggest Bloodsail cultist I have seen.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 buffs by the Rokara,
Yeah.
so pretty strong.
Yeah, the no enhanced Dreadlord this turn is really hurting the Oh, he picks up Plague of Flames. So never mind. So he trades the cube into the Bloodsail. He values the Ticketus into his, I think it's ship's cannon.
Maybe Rokara.
Yeah, it has to be
too.
ship's cannon. And so that leaves with 3 versus. Oh, I don't like that because you want Plague of Flames this turn, and the 2 Void Callers kills 2 more minions with Plague of Flames,
Mhm.
and then you can and then you can have the enhanced Dreadlord and maybe get there because
Yeah,
you
I
need to
don't see that
survive.
there's a way to get that Dreadlord out this turn now that he did that trade.
Yeah.
And that looks like that's it. I mean, even with this Plague of Flames, there's way more than 4 damage on board, so. Yeah, absolute. Taking game 3 with that Pirate Warrior, going up 2-1, and he's just left with his Reno Priest.
Green Priest is gonna be tricky because of the albatrosses.
Yeah,
And
what do you like better here, the Warlock or the Warrior?
I think you whichever has the higher win chance, and I have no idea which one has the higher win chance. I think
Same
it's
here,
the
my experience with the
feel
deck
like-
is, or with both of the decks.
I feel like Warrior because you have a greater chance of grabbing a bomb weapon, right? With
Yeah,
like
yeah,
with Forge
yeah,
of Souls and like Corsairs potentially. So
Yeah, I might agree with that too, just because if you go with the Warlock, there's no great way to tutor out those Albatrosses, and you kind of need those to even the matchup spread up.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what they pick.
I'm happy that we're seeing this Warrior today, though. I'm excited to see it. So,
Embrace the chaos.
A loon give me strength.
Actually, not bad a hand. I really like keeping Town Criers with any sort of warrior deck. The card's just good.
I think it gives him 2 of those Blood Boil Brutes. I'm trying to see if there's any other Rush minions in the deck. Oh, the
Oh,
Brutes.
Broomstick.
Yeah.
I think he mulliganed away the Broomstick. Oh, he threw both the Town Criers. Looks like he's just
He's
going for
hunting for the
bombs.
weapons.
Yeah.
There it is. Forge of Souls. Oh, and the Polkelt too. Usually that's such a good card for the Reno Priest, but with the bombs coming down, I mean, that's just going to disrupt the whole order.
Actually, sometimes you want to pull Celt with bombs in your deck, so you can just draw them all at once in Reno. Since bombs cost 5, like, it's not a bad plan.
Well, I agree with that when it
Yeah.
works out sometimes like that. That's a good line that you can get if you're lucky like that. It's kind of tough because it involves your opponent not swinging with bombs the turn after Polkelt. So sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I think he's going to cast Forge of Souls, draw at least 1 Wrench Caliber. I believe he has does he have Inkar in his list?
He does actually.
Yeah, okay. He might have hit the Inkar. Since the deck's so reliant on Risky Skipper, you usually have Inkar just to ensure the drawing of Risky Skipper.
Yeah, but I feel this is Lefty's best game plan. I mean, getting those bombs down early against the Reno Priest, this is probably his best line that he could take over the early curve turn.
Okay, so this is actually pretty good. He's drawing the 5 costs. It makes it so that if you do pull Kettle Bombs in your deck, that means that you have a pretty reliable chance of ensuring when you'll draw them. Like, let's see here. I think you just swing face again, equip another Wrench Caliber, or swing into the Kazakas, equip Wrench Caliber.
Yeah, I like swinging into Kazakas here just because that 3/3 might stick around for a little while if you don't clear it.
Alright, so you can actually Risky Skipper for a decent amount of draw. Skipper, Acolyte, Pain Crier. That draws 3 cards. And uses 3 cards. So he would have 8 cards in hand with 1 health on Acolyte. Looks like he's going to be super greedy. Or not really super greedy, but greedier with it, and keeping it in hand. Well, he did pick up the Blood Boil Brute. So if there's 4 minions on board on turn 7, he can play the Blood Boil Brute. But I think you kind of just want to cash in your Skipper sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I might agree with that
Yeah.
just because against Reno Priest you only have so many turns to set up before their combo starts to develop and come together. As
Also,
far as
it-
absolutes, sorry, go ahead.
Also, it pops the Divine Shield on Talon. And
Yeah,
so you can
true,
swing with your
true.
weapon. Instead,
As far as Absolute's game plan, though, we see that Talon coming out. That'll draw the Reno. Do you think he's going to bank on that Lore Keeper and the Reno turn?
I think he has to. Like, his life total is high enough that he can do it.
If power is what you seek,
It's a very good play. The ensuring he draws his Anduin, and he has Roz in hand too.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with this is that it just reshuffles everything.
Maybe you want to Dirty Rat this turn, just because you know the Reno could be in Absolute's hand here. My only worry is you don't have a great answer to it, so maybe not.
Okay, I would have definitely gone for the Skipper play this turn.
I think he might be waiting just so he could try to fit in that Battle Rage, but the Acolyte of Pain is going to draw
Nah.
him so many cards already. So
I really don't think you Battle Rage with Acolyte of Pain. Like,
That's an upgrade. Probably.
yeah, it's a pretty easy way to overdraw, at least in my opinion.
I feel like he's using his combo to fight for board.
So much rage.
Interesting use of Battle Rage there.
Like the Og Merchant use was really interesting because now he can't ping his ETC. He must be all in on just bombs.
Yeah,
And
and we see from that draw of Absolute picking up that Breath of the Infinite, his draw order from Polkout gets disrupted by the bombs. Ooh, pulling the Mercenary is huge.
like, how do I explain this? I don't think Lefty can win this anymore. Like, he just doesn't have to combo. He just needs to sit here, heal face. And ETC doesn't have enough damage anymore, right? Because
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, Absolute's got plenty of turns to parse out those bombs with 21 cards still in his deck, and he's only got 4 bombs in there. So taking out that damage from the OTK combo with the ETC of Lefty here, Absolute, if he keeps his health total high, he might just steal the game like that. You're right.
okay, so there's 4 bombs. 4 bombs is 20 damage. So ETC needs to make up the other 10, but he needs to draw all the bombs at once. Like, so 3 bombs is 15. So he needs to do what is it, 14 damage, or get him down to 15 or below 15 in order to win. And I don't just see that happening against Arena Priest. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, just the fact that he used the Guardian Og Merchant to get that combo off too. I'm trying to think if there's any other way he could get some damage on the ETC to copy it with a copy of the Bloodsworn Mercenary, but I don't think there is. What
he
do you
also
think of the
trade.
Anduin
Yeah,
play
he's
here?
all right. So he traded. So that gives away his game plan. He's gonna outlast the warrior. This isn't a race. It's an outlast. So
Game of
it's
aggression begins.
he's on my game plan of just keep your health total high, and he can't win. I really don't. Well, okay, I would have definitely ratted first. Oh, that's actually a really good hit. Probably the best hit he could have actually hoped for. So now his combo safe. Like, Lefty actually has his combo safe now. So ETC plus Broom actually does a lot of work now because he can play ETC, Turnium Rover.
The thing is, he can't copy that ETC for more than 1 round of damage just because
Actually,
there's no way to damage the
Skipper.
ETC now.
He has Skipper still.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
if
gonna
you
play-
Skipper and then Broom, I mean, it's going to kill your board.
Yeah. I think his game plan now is Skipper on the ETC turn, which means that he Skipper or ETC Skipper, and then I think Bran,
Darkness speaks to me.
Eternium Rover, Blood Sail.
He picked Potion.
I don't see the combo coming together. Yeah, I mean, even if you risky Skipper, ETC, Bloodsworn, Broom, that's 3 hits from the Skipper already, which kills both the Skipper, the Broom, and any other 2 health thing at that point.
I think that was Lefty's last way to actually apply pressure through minions with that Blood Boil Brute.
I mean, he's got some of those Clockwork Goblins too, but that's not a whole ton of tempo.
I really think that. Oh, I hate that time. I hate that Town Crier play. You really want to keep that for Skipper turns. Like,
Let the pain speak to me.
all right, this is. he's setting up for a skipper turn,
All in.
but
You mean like if he just top decks the ETC? I don't know.
he really should have played skipper. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, he needs to draw. He only has 3 cards in hand now. He would have had 6.
Yeah, and I think he already has one of the other risky skippers in deck, so I'm not sure why he's saving it.
I'm surprised that Absolute didn't go for the Raza trade on the Acolyte. Then I draw. But honestly, I think he can do whatever he wants at this point. Like, he's
Yeah, I
at
think Absolute recognizes the position he's in.
Yeah.
He knows his health total's high, and the ETC combo itself won't get there. So
like, I was thinking like you need to minimize the opponent's draw, but I don't think you have to anymore.
if you're lefty, do you just Bryn Goblin here just to get some extra chance for that? All the bombs on one turn plus the ETC combo.
It's really unfortunate for lefty that both Armor Smiths are bottom 8, but let's see. Let's do some math here. So he can ping with Spanish House twice. Raza's 5, so he needs to armor up here in order not to die. So Spawn, ping, Falnos ping is lethal.
Wait a second. If you save the brand for the Bloodsworn Mercenary ETC turn, is that the same thing as doubling the ETC? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Does that make a difference at all, or no? Do you think?
In this position, I'm not sure. But yeah, he recognizes that he needs. I think you rip the Blood Rage too, because you're not getting any value out of that unless you play Skipper, and he's keeping Skipper for his combo turn. So Skipper's not a playable card at this point. So
Yeah, but you don't even have ETC yet. Like, you have to get the draw first, I think.
No, he has to. Okay, so this game's ending in 2 turns. I think Lefty realizes that, and you need to play to your out, and you're not saving Blood Rage for value anymore. You just need to cycle it, hope for the best, because now you're within lethal range.
Yeah, I think he's got to use the Skipper and the Bran and the Battle Rage just to get some possible answer of gaining armor.
There's the Armor Smith. Oh, that was the single best card he could have hoped for.
I don't think it improves his position all that much, though.
Okay, so he needs to clear the Raza and gain 3 life minimum. He can Skipper, Armor Smith.
Do you ever
I guess you have to.
Do you ever brand Mercenary and copy the Armor Smith twice?
So he's never winning with ETC that way because his other one got ratted. But the other option is dying. So I think he has to play to his out of not dying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. This is so awkward. See if he uses the broom stick over the he does. I think this delays the inevitable, but so if Absolute's been paying attention, he probably realizes that he can just clear this with his math. Yeah. And just outlast. Because Absolute's winning in fatigue now. There is only 20 damage in this deck. He's at 39. The maximum damage that Lefty can do is, I don't think he can do any damage actually.
Yeah,
no more
I don't
rush
think so
minions
either, because that's the second broom coming out too. So yeah, Absolute's got 5 bombs in his deck. That could put him down to I think, what is that, 14 possibly if they all drew at once. But Lefty, I think, recognizes the situation at hand here.
He's just playing arena for tempo at this point.
We're gonna be rich.
He realizes that he just needs to pressure the life total. I guess the way Lefty wins this is Bran
Speak to me.
Clockwork. No, not even that does enough damage.
He only had one Clockwork Goblin, so he has no more in his deck. I think the last 3 cards he has, one of them's an Armor Smith, I think.
Oh, there's one bomb.
It should be like Armor Smith, ETC. And
It's
another
got
card.
Barov in there too.
Lord Barov, okay.
Yeah, Barov, ETC, and Armor Smith.
Yeah, he's just gonna mill out the rest of the. He's just gonna put Lefty in fatigue. Looks like potentially. Ellen's is huge. Yeah.
It's a good choice with the Velen's chosen, buffing up the Reno perfectly.
Yeah, normally accelerating your opponent's game plan is a really bad thing, but he just knows the list. He knows there's no more damage left in deck. The faster he gets into you fatigue the opponent, the better.
Yeah, could have even opted for Power Word Shield to bring the Penflinger
I mean,
back
Power
to
Word
hand.
Shields,
The shield's a free activator of Spawn.
yeah. So Spawn can now deal. Oh, let's see here. I used to be really good at Spawn math. Spawn can deal 12 damage in hand now, but if he gets another 0 mana card, like Ray said, it can deal 18.
Just looking at this game as a whole, though, I mean, Lefty had such a good start with the Forge of Souls into the 2 Wrench Calibers, and then it's just seemed to all go wrong by pulling the Bloodsworn Mercenary off of Absolute Sturdy Rat. Would you say that's where the course of the game started swinging towards Absolute?
I think he should have gone in with his Risky Skipper much sooner than he actually did. I think that was the main thing in this list. Like, the random card, like he didn't hit ETC off the Skipper, and Lefty did hit the Elucia. So this was very winnable from both sides. I really think it was the turn 5 when he didn't play Skipper that set the tone for this game. If he would have skippered Acolyte and what was it, Town Crier, he would have had 8 cards in hand.
Yeah, he would have drawn 3 that
He
turn.
would have drawn 3
Instead, I
that
think
turn.
he drew just 1.
Yeah, and then if he could have also not played he could have also played Skipper Town Crier and used the Battle Rage to draw 3 as well. But I think the holding back the Skippers for so long just cost him the game.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
he drew maybe a little bit faster, he could have assembled a combo in time. Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have Absolute coming in for an interview here?
I would normally do an interview. However, I have a match in 5 minutes, and I need to get myself all prepped for that. Like, just do my final prep. So, unfortunately,
No
we
worries, no
we
worries.
won't be doing an interview with Absolute. But congratulations to him on the win, and everyone's a winner, having a massive week against Mankirk's Revenge. So, great, really nice bounce back for this team in general. With only one more match left to play, they're looking at a potential 20-point week now with all 4 people winning besides Battle Tagger.
All right, no pressure on Battle Tiger then.
Yeah, Tagger's got it. Going up against a 6-0, we got it.
Yeah. Well, again, a great showing by both players. It was a solid series. I had fun casting, thanks
Yeah.
to both Fish and Mumnark.
Yeah. Shout outs to everyone who played on stream, Absolute and Lefty. Thanks to you two for coming and casting some Wild. And later tonight, we're going to have a match at 8 p.m. Eastern, Corridon versus Disco in Hero Series. And at 9 p.m. following that will be Geranium Battle versus Jester in Legacy Series Gold Conference action. So come back for that later. It'll be myself and some group of casters. We hadn't. So we will hopefully see you all then. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you in the evening.
Have a good one, guys. See ya.
See ya.